Hi guys, so in this video I'm just gonna show you how you can use gitpod for your hackathon project. So what you need to do first is to create a GitHub repository for your project, right? If you don't have a GitHub account, please create a GitHub account first, and then you can go ahead and create a GitHub repository for your project. So I'll go to my GitHub account here, and on repositories I'll do new, and then I'll create my new project. This will be your project for your hackathon. You can name it whatever you want, the name of your project. Mine, I'll just call it my project, right? And then I'll make it public. I'll add a readme, and then I create the repository. Okay, so after you've created the repository, there's one more file you need to add to this repository for you to be able to use gitpod successfully with your project. So you can come here on add file and select create new file, and then the name of the file should be .gitpod .yml, right? .gitpod.yml is one of the files you need to create, and then inside the file there's some scripts you need to have in that gitpod file. They will be attached in the description. You will be reading about this, so I'll just copy them here. So you need to have these scripts in your .gitpod.yml file. We will provide a link for you to these scripts so that you can easily copy them. You will see it in the hackathon guide, and then when you do that, you commit your changes. Yes, commit changes. Right, now your project is now ready is now ready to be used in gitpod. So after you've created your project and added the gitpod YML file, you can now go to gitpod.io, and then you do try for free, and then you continue with GitHub. You're just authenticating your gitpod with GitHub, right? When you're here, you need to create a new workspace, right? So gitpod will have some suggestions for the repositories you can connect. If you don't find like your new repository, your new project, this one, my project, if you don't find it here, you can just come to your repository, and then on code here you copy the URL. After you have copied the URL, you just come here, and you can see saying paste the repository URL or type to find suggestion. So you paste the repository URL, then you select it. You select VS Code you are going to be using. We're going to use it in the browser. Then you do continue. So now we're starting your gitpod workspace. Awesome. Oh yes, I'll gitpod was created successfully, and now it has started. So you can see we have these scripts before, right? So as you can see here in our terminal, it have already started running those scripts automatically. So you can see it's asking you proceed with the installation. You just go ahead and press enter. So it will install the ICCDK for you. The ICCDK is the one you will be using for creating your project. So when it gets to this file, it's giving this error because we don't have a package.json file here. It wanted to install our packages by default. So it's fine, we don't want to install some packages at the moment, so you can just press enter. So you can just press enter again and finish. And then once you are done, you can now do the dfx commands to create a new project for yourself. dfx new my project. Okay, so it's saying it can't find the dfx command, so we need to set that manually. So you can scroll up and you can see here where it says to configure your shell, run this. So we need to just copy this and then we paste it here. So it will ask us to give permission, and then we paste, then we run the command. So right after we run successfully, we can now do dfx new my project. So we'll go with Motoko project, and then you choose the front end you want to use for your project. If you're using React, Vanilla, or Node.js template, that will be up to you. In my case, I'll be using React, so I will select React and then enter again on internet identity. So now my new project has been created, and you see I can see all these files for my project. So now I can go ahead and so this new project is its own GitHub repository. So what you can do is remove all the files that are inside my project here to move them outside so that they can be in your actual my project repository, the main one, right? Because this is the one that has just been created. So to do that, you can just come inside here and copy everything that is inside the newly created my project here. You just want to copy everything from inside here, right? And you want to move it outside, so you can drag and drop it outside here. Yes. Yeah, so now you can now see my project is now empty, so you can now delete it because we don't need it. We moved everything that was inside outside, so we can now go ahead and delete it. Okay, so now we have our my project repository and all the files inside it. And then you can see we can open source, you can open the backend, you can see your main.mo file, this is your Motoko file where you will do your backend implementation, and your front end, this will be your front end with your front end implementation using React or whichever framework you would have selected. So now my project is ready. Inside the terminal, again, deploy it, dfx deploy. Okay, so I need to start the local replica first. I started by dfx start clean background, and then I can now deploy my project with the dfx deploy. Right, our project is deployed. You can now test whatever you want to test. If you want to see the front end, you can click this link and you will see your front end implementation. If you want to see the back end, you can click this link and you will see your backend canister implementation, and you can test it out. And then so as you start developing the front end, you usually don't want to deploy it every time. So when you are like done with the back end and you're developing the front end, you usually need to do just to do npm start, and then you will be able to start seeing your changes live. So let's say I come to my code here in my front end and I want to change what's inside here. I want to remove this logo. If I check my browser, you can see the logo is gone. So now you can see your updates in real. You can now see your updates in real time. And if I put it back, you can see it's now back. So yeah, when you do the front end, when you start developing the front end, run your project with npm start so that you can see, so that Vite can continuously run it and show you your latest changes without having to deploy. So yeah, let's say you're finished developing your backend, what you want to develop in the backend and what you want to do in the front end. Now you want to commit some changes to your GitHub, because you need to have your code saved on GitHub, like in your repository, so that you're able to submit it and also to keep it safe there. So what you need to do is to just use git and use git add a to add everything we have created. Git commit, we pass in our commit message. Then we do git push. Yes. So you might find an error yourself when you try to do git push. It will tell you like permission denied and or other stuff. When it does that, you just need to click the green button that will appear here telling you to like grant some permissions, and then where you will be taken to a page where you need to grant some GitHub permissions, and then you just like tick all the options that will be available. And yeah, also if you have the error trying to set this up, feel free to reach out to us. We will be there to help you. So yes, so now I've pushed my code to GitHub. If I come here on GitHub and refresh, I can now see my code is here. Initial commit, everything I've just created is here. So that's it, guys. That's how you go about using gitpod. This will help you to this will save you a lot of time of trying to install all the tools locally on your machine, because it might take some time. So yeah, if you haven't installed the tools on your computer, it's best for you to just use gitpod.